Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. In this part we will see the brachistochrone problem. That is, here we will prove that the path followed by the particle in sliding from one point to another in the absence of friction in the shortest time will be a cycloid. That is, here if you will consider a particle, it is sliding from rest at one point on a frictionless way in a vertical plane to another point under the influence of the earth gravitational field. Then if the particle travels in the shortest time, then we have to prove that the path followed by the particle will be a cycloid. Then now the question is, why this term is given, that is this brachistochrone. So here this brachistos means, this is the brachistos means the shortest, and chronos means time. So that is shortest time. So the problem of finding the path followed by the particle is sliding from one point to another in the absence of the friction in the shortest time. That is, in the shortest means brachistos, time means chronos. It is called the problem of brachistochrone. Now let us draw. This is, suppose this one is x-axis and this is your, suppose, y-axis. Okay. Now let us consider the path of the particle like this. And now suppose this distance is, suppose, x, since this is your x-axis and this one is y-axis. So this distance is x, and here if I will consider the point is P, and here if I will move from the point P to, suppose this is your P prime, so the distance is very small, that is, suppose ds. This distance is, suppose, ds, and this is your from the origin O. This point is 0, 0. Okay, and the path is from O to A, that is this point A, it is, suppose, x1, y1. Let the shape of the wire, in the form of a curve, let the shape of the wire in the form of a curve OA, O capital A. So the particle starts to travel, from the point O means 0, 0 point, from rest, and it moves to the point A. So this point A is x1, y1 under the influence of gravity, on the frictionless wire. So there is no frictionless wire. So basically what we consider that, so suppose the particle is at this point O where it is at rest, and now the particle travels from this point O and it will reach to the point A where this A coordinate will be x1, y1, and here we will consider only the gravitational pull, and here we will neglect the friction. Let the speed at the point P, be, suppose, v. The particle velocity is, suppose, v. Then in moving, the distance P prime, that is equal to ds, the elementary length, ds equal to, or ds element, the time taken will be time taken will be equal to, so basically here you can see at the point P the particle velocity will be v, and here the displacement when it will move from P to the P prime point, then its displacement is ds, and we know velocity equal to displacement divided by time. So here we can write time equal to displacement by velocity. So here if I will calculate for the time, so here the time will be displacement divided by the velocity. So here the displacement is ds and here the velocity is v. So simply here we can write the time taken will be equal to ds by v. Okay. So now here we will write this is equal to ds divided by v. Okay. Therefore we can calculate the total time taken by the particle in moving from this total path, that is from the point O, that is the highest point O, to the lowest point A. This is simply the integration from O to A ds by v. Okay. So the total time, so for this small path, for this small distance, we can say the time taken will be equal to ds by v. Similarly for this total path we can calculate this is the ds by v integration over O to A. So let us write, therefore the total time taken by the particle, in moving from the higher point O to the lower point A is t equal to integration over 0 to O to A, integration over O to A ds by v. So here if I will consider the vertical distance of fall, so this is the vertical distance of fall. So if the vertical distance of fall from O to P, it is suppose the x, then from the principle of conservation of energy we can write the total kinetic energy will be equal to the potential energy if we will consider only the vertical distance of fall. Okay. So for the vertical distance of fall means this much. So for this we can compare. So this is your the kinetic energy, that is half mv square will be equal to mgx, where m is the mass of the particle. Now we can write here if the vertical distance of fall from O to P be x, then from the principle of conservation of energy says, then from the principle of conservation of energy, we can write the kinetic energy will be equal to the potential energy, or simply 1 by 2 mv square equal to mgh, where m is the mass of the particle, where m equal to the mass of the particle. Now here we can cancel this m term, so here we can write simply or v square equal to 2gh, or simply you can see here this distance h is your x. So here in place of h I can write this distance is x. In place of h here I am just writing this is your x. Okay. Or simply we can write v will be equal to 2gx whole root over. Okay. Now here we will calculate the total time taken by the particle, and this total time equal to ds by v integration. So here what is the value of ds? Now let us come back to this figure. So here you can see this distance is ds. Now if I will split the components of ds, so this is just like this. This one is dy component and this is suppose dx component. So simply we can write for this ds, this will be equal to dx square plus dy square root over. So here we can write since d is equal to dx square plus dy square root over. So here we can take common ds square suppose. So this is equal to, taking ds square common, this will be 1 plus dy by dx whole square. This simply we have taken common ds square and the whole root over. Now simply here we can write ds square root over will be equal to dx, and this is the root over of 1 plus dy by ds can be written as y prime. So this is y prime square. Now if I will write the total time expression, so here you can see t equal to integration over ds by v. So this is suppose equation number 1. So now we can write t equal to, from equation 1 we can write, therefore t equal to integration over, so let me write from equation 1 we can write t equal to integration over o to a. So this ds now becomes dx into root over of 1 plus y prime square divided by, here we have calculated the value of v, that is root over of 2gx. So now simply substituting all this value we will get, so this is divided by, this is root over 2gx. So for the time integral to be minimum, that is, so for t integral to be minimum, that is if I will calculate del t, then this value equal to 0. So simply we can write, suppose the function f equal to, suppose as we have solved from the previous problem, so here simply we can consider this f equal to this total value, that is 1 plus y prime square root over divided by root over 2gx. This is the value of f. So here we can write this f equal to 1 plus y prime square divided by 2gx whole root over. Okay. Since delta t, that is delta of this much equal to 0, so here you can consider this term to be f. So now we can use Euler-Lagrangian equation. So to calculate the Euler-Lagrangian equation, now first of all we will calculate dou f by dou y. So here the value of dou f by dou y equal to, you can see here this term doesn't contain the y term, so this is equal to 0. And similarly if I will calculate dou f by dou y prime, then this is equal to, so here this 1 by root over 2gx is constant, and here the root over of 1 plus y prime square will be equal to, this is simply 1 by 2 root 2gx into the root over of 1 plus y prime square, and again the derivative of y prime square will be equal to 2y prime. So now this 2 get cancelled, so that is equal to, we can write dou f by dou y prime will be equal to y prime divided by root over of 2gx whole into 1 plus y prime square. Now if I will substitute the value in the Euler-Lagrangian equation, so the Euler-Lagrangian equation we know, this is d by dx of dou f by dou y prime, dou f by dou y prime minus dou f by dou y, that is equal to 0. Since here dou f by dou y equal to 0, so let me only write d by dx of dou f by dou y prime we have calculated here. So this is dou f by dou y prime value equal to y prime divided by root over 2gx into 1 plus y prime square. So here if I write, this is d by dx of y prime divided by root over of 2gx into 1 plus y prime square, and that is equal to 0. Since d by dx of some term equal to 0, so here we can write this term is your constant, or we can write y prime divided by root over. So here the 2g term is also constant. So simply here I am writing x into 1 plus y prime square, that is equal to constant. Okay. Since all this term, that is root over 2g, is constant, the bracketed term is actually constant. So that also we can write y prime by this term equal to constant. And let us consider this constant, suppose c. This constant is equal to suppose c. Or simply we can write, if I will take this, if I will do the square of both sides, then this will be y prime square will be equal to c square, that is the constant square, into this term will now get multiplied here. This is equal to x into 1 plus y prime square. Okay. Now also we can write, if I will take y prime square term to the left hand side, then this will be y prime square term taken common. This will be 1 minus c square x, and that is equal to c square x. Because here this is c square x into y prime square. So now we can take this c square x into y prime square to the left hand side. Now the equation can be written like this, or this can be written y prime square will be equal to c square x divided by 1 minus c square into x. And if I will divide this c square term, so in the denominator and numerator, this will be simply x divided by, this will be 1 by c square minus x. Okay. Again, if I will consider this 1 by c square term, that is equal to suppose b, any other constant. So now we can replace this equation, or this 1 by c square as b. If I will replace this 1 by c square as b, so then we can write, or y prime will be equal to x divided by b minus x whole root over. Because this is y prime square equal to this much, so y prime will be equal to root over of x divided by b minus x. Here this y prime represents dy by dx, or we can write y prime equal to, so here dy by dx, and that is equal to x by b minus x whole root over. Or in this place we can write, if I will write dy equal to root over of x by b minus x into dx, or simply this is integration over dy equal to x by b minus x root over into dx, and this is the whole integration. And now we can write this is equal to, or dy integration will be equal to y, and that is equal to, now to solve this equation, this integration, let us consider x equal to suppose b sin square theta. So that dx will be equal to 2b sin theta, because sin square theta derivative we are calculating. For sin square theta, this will be 2 sin theta into the derivative of sin theta will be cos theta, and here d theta is present because with respect to theta we are calculating. So y will be equal to integration over, this is x equal to b sin square theta divided by b, taking common this will be 1 minus, so in place of x here I am writing, we have taken common b, so that this will be sin square theta into the value of 2 dx is 2b sin theta cos theta d theta, and here the root over is present. Now we can write this is equal to, just a minute, now we can write this is equal to the integration over, so this b get cancelled, sin square theta root over will be sin theta, and this 1 minus sin square theta will be cos square theta, and this root over will be cos theta, into this will be 2b sin theta cos theta into d theta. So the cos theta get cancelled. This is equal to 2 into 2b. So this is 2b. Let me write, only taking common b. So here this is sin 2 sin square theta d theta plus some integration constant, suppose c prime. After solving, I will put this c prime. So let me first solve. So this is b into integration over 2 sin square theta d theta, or that is equal to b into, we can write in place of 2 sin square theta, I can write 1 minus cos 2 theta d theta, and that is equal to b into 1 into d theta will be theta, d theta, 1 into d theta, this is d theta, and the integration of d theta will be theta, minus cos 2 theta d theta, cos 2 theta d theta integration will be sin 2 theta by 2, this is sin 2 theta divided by 2, and some integration constant, suppose c prime. So here this simply can be written as, if I will take common 1 by 2, so this is b by 2 whole into 2 theta minus sin 2 theta plus c prime. This is the value of the y coordinate, and also we know here we have substituted the x value equal to b sin square theta. So let me write, since x equal to b sin square theta, so this can also be written as b by 2 into 1 minus cos 2 theta, and we have calculated the value of y equal to b by 2 theta minus sin 2 theta plus c prime. This is the value of x coordinate and y coordinate. So here if I represent this x coordinate and y coordinate, so let me draw, this is your x and y coordinate, this one is y coordinate, sorry, this is y axis, and this one is suppose x axis, and this one is your origin O, and here the path will be, the path of the particle will be like this. Okay, so here the point A is present, suppose this is your x1 comma y1. Since we have considered the curve, since the curve passes through the origin, origin means passes through the point O, that is 0 comma 0, so we can consider c prime equal to 0. So by applying the boundary condition, that is this c prime to be 0, we can write this x value equal to b by 2 1 minus cos 2 theta, and that is also equal to, suppose b by 2 is some constant a, whole into 1 minus, suppose this in place of 2 theta if I will put phi, so this is 1 minus cos phi. And similarly we can write for the y, so y will be equal to b by 2 in place of 2 theta, so let me write first, this is 2 theta minus sin 2 theta, because this c prime equal to 0, the constant taken to be 0, so here in place of b by 2 if I will put a, and this 2 theta is a phi, minus this will be sin, in place of 2 theta I will write phi. So we can write where a equal to b by 2 and phi equal to 2 theta. So this represent, so this equation, so here this represent a cycler that is x, and also here the constant a, it can be determined, the constant a can be determined, the constant a can be determined because the curve passes through, the point passes through the point A, that is x1, y1. So in this way you can see the path followed by the particle when you will slide from the point O2 and you will reach at the point A. So when there is no friction, and we can consider this is a frictionless way. So here the shortest time is the cycloid. That is, if the path of the particle, that is the particle travel the distance from O to A, that is for the shortest time, so the path of the particle will be a cycloid. And this is called brachistochrone problem. So in this way you can calculate the x coordinate and y coordinate, so that you can prove that the path of the particle is a cycloid. This is all for today. Thank you all.